are here again talking about women breaking barriers. And online with me is Synokia Hibbert. How are you doing this morning, Synokia? Hello?
I'm well, Nadine. I'm
Okay.
well. Good
Okay.
hearing.
We're having a little, I'm hearing you, but it's a little delayed. Speak again and you're frozen. But we hear that line so
I'm
much nowadays.
frozen. Hello.
No, you're unfrozen now. Nobody's listening and saying, but that's not
Okay.
English. All right. Right. So, welcome again. And we're going to be talking about
Thank
women
you.
breaking barriers. So, I'm just going to go and let
Yes.
you go ahead. Are you there? Are you hearing me?
I'm hearing you. I'm hearing you very well. Are you
Okay.
hearing me?
All right. Yes. So, go right ahead and begin to share about women breaking barriers. All right. So, if we
Okay.
have,
So today we're going to come. Are you hearing me?
yes, yes, go ahead.
Okay. So today we're going to come home a little bit, come back to Jamaica. We went
Back
to
to
the
Jamaica.
United States and to Dubai. So today we're
Mhm.
going to come home a little bit to talk about a woman who has been breaking barriers in the world of sports. And her name
Mm.
is Alexis Nunes. And
Mhm.
Alexis Nunes has been a host and reporter for ESPN since 2014, covering both soccer and cricket. And she appears on both ESPN domestic and international television, including ESPN Caribbean, as well as a number of its digital platforms and shows. And she's a contributor to ESPN FC and ESPN Cricket Info. And she has covered a number of major soccer and cricket events for the network, including the 2016 Rio Olympics and the 2015 Cricket World Cup. And during her broadcast career, Alexis has interviewed sports luminaries such as David Beckham, Zlatan Ibrahimovic. I hope I got that name correct.
Ibrahim. Mhm.
Paul Pogba, Ashley Cole, Michael Essien, and Usain Bolt. Now,
Yes.
prior to her role at ESPN, Alexis spent 3 years at Sportsmax, the Caribbean most watched sports cable TV channel, as well as its sister station, CEEN, with broadcasts on cable television, cable vision and services in the US Caribbean population. But who is Alexis? She was born on May 8th and she recently celebrated her 31st birthday. She was raised in Kingston, Jamaica, and now lives in Connecticut. She is fluent in both English and Spanish and is a graduate of Campion College and the University of the West Indies. And
Hoot,
according
hoot.
to an interview, yes, according to an interview done by the Caribbean National Weekly online newspaper, she was born to an El Salvadorian mother and a Jamaican father. And Alexis says that her love of sports came from her father. She says growing up, he controlled the remote and always wanted them to watch something sensible in her household, and
So the
sensible often
sensible was
invokes.
sports.
Yes, yes, yes. So her father would also take her to cricket matches. And she says with a love of sport came a love of story. And between the superhuman feats, the favorite athletes, watching favorite athletes regularly perform, she says that we cling to the bits of the personality that fills out the gaps. And she understanding this, she says that when she wasn't absorbing every sport that she could find except golf, she doesn't like golf. She
Mhm.
grew up watching documentaries and stories of how great athletes would transcend their sport. She says, I always knew that this is what I wanted to do.
Wow.
And after graduating from the University of the West Indies, she landed her first job in broadcasting at Sportsmax. And she stresses that she wouldn't be where she is today if not for
Wow.
her time at Sportsmax. And she credits broadcaster and media personality Simon Crossgill for mentoring her. And his advice to her was very clear: never change and never compromise. And she took those words to heart. She says that she likes to find a new angle and to play games when reporting sports, whether it is, hanging out with her favorite football player or, just anything else. She says that, well, she speaks about the unique challenges that she has faced as a woman of color in a field dominated by white men. And each of those descriptions is another layer of marginality that she has faced. She says, the number one reason people come at you is that you're a girl. It's
Mhm.
disheartening to see how many people don't accept that women can know as much, if not more, than a man in regards to sports. Saying that, I guess sports is man's world, but
Yeah.
Alexis Nunes is proving otherwise, and she's definitely breaking barriers in the world of sports.
Awesome. And Shibanya.
Yes, she's
They come from
Jamaican.
here. That's beautiful.
Hmm.
And even when they push her in the pool. But but
Yes,
yeah, it's good it's good and refreshing to hear these stories of women who are strong and know what they want and know, you know, are resilient in going after what they want. What is
yes.
your story?
My story.
I know we've heard your testimony. You packed up and went to school and you didn't know how you were going to pay. You're a mad woman.
Well, if we, you know, I would I would say that that kind of madness is necessary.
Right.
Because if we should even look at the lives of the different prophets and the
Mhm.
different heroes in the Bible, Abraham, he was, fine in Ur of the Chaldees or wherever he was. And God just said, all right, Abraham, time to go. And Abraham left everything and followed God. So for me, it was a similar experience.
Mhm.
I knew that this is where God wanted me to be.
And
I
that
did
is the
not,
crux, you know.
pardon?
That is the crux, the knowing. How do you
Yes,
get from the uncertainty to the
yes.
knowing? And so it boils down to a relationship with God. Mhm.
Certainly,
Mhm.
certainly. It cannot be had any other way. And that is it. It is knowing what God has. Well, Jeremiah 29:11 is like my banner text. For I know the thoughts that I think towards you, said the Lord, thoughts of peace and not of evil, to give you an expected end. There are times along the journey that you forget what the expected end is, that you get tired and you get fed up, and it just seems like the promised land is a far way off. But it's always remembering that God knows the thoughts that He thinks towards you, and He will not ask you to go out on a journey that He has not provided for, that He has not, how do I say, He
Or he's
never
already
asks you
there
to
to
go on
back
a
you.
journey that
Hmm.
He does not know, or He does not bring you to success, to the end point of the journey.
Yeah.
He did not just bring the children of Israel out of Egypt and let them die in the wilderness.
Right.
He brought them straight to the promised land. It was because of their own fault why they got there 40 years later. But that was
Hmm.
not God's
Walk
original
around.
intent. Yeah.
All right. Well, Sinokia, thank you for sharing these stories. We heard about the Madame, what was it last year? Madame with the hair.
Madam C.J. Walker.
I want to find it to see if I can grow some of my hair. I mean, I don't know if any of them, any of her products help with aging, but um, Madame CJ, we heard about the sports car woman in a man's
Yes.
world, and now we're hearing about our
Mhm.
very own Jamaican. I love it. Thank you very much, Alexis Nunez. Thank you very much, Sinokia, for
You're
sharing.
welcome.
And I hope women who are listening, and anyone for that matter, because at the
Yeah.
end of the day, it is about finding your true self and going after your dream in the will
Mhm.
of God, of course. We have to add that. So I thank you for sharing it. All right. Have a wonderful
Thank
rest of
you.
the day. All
Same
right.
to you as well.
All right. So that's it for our